Hey guys, welcome back to What If Deku Had a Half and Half Quirk Part 7. After defeating the mind control guy, he's walking through a doorway when he's approached by Todoroki. He knows Todoroki is one of his classmates, but he doesn't, he hasn't ever talked to him as he's always the silent one in the back of the classroom. Although he does understand uh, he does understand the power of Todoroki, but um, he doesn't fully know the full ins and outs or why he doesn't use both of his quirks. But he understands that he has both of his quirks, recognizing him as more of an equal because they're both half and half quirks. And that's when Todoroki walks up to him and says, "Are you All Might's love child?" or something, and then Deku then nervously laughs and says, "No," and that's when Todoroki says, "It doesn't matter anyway. You remind me too much of him, and you have a similar power, and I'm gonna defeat you because you're the bane of my existence, uh, and you and Endeavor are the reason why I hate my life so much," or something like that. And yeah, yeah, that's about it. Um, on top of that, what else can I do? Oh yeah, I forgot what I was gonna do. Like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch. Thank you. Sorry. So, the rest of the other battles happen like they do in straight canon. Other than Todoroki, even more annoyed than last time, uh, basically freezes half the stadium out. Not of course getting the passengers, but he freezes half the stadium for the duct tape guy, and like basically he uses up even more stamina, which is not good for him because he's kind of just doing it out of blind range. Anyway, so the battle comes up of Deku versus Todoroki. Todoroki starts off with a big eye sculpture, but Deku manages to basically put. He tries to first punch through it, realizing that doesn't work. He uses lightning to turn it into heat to melt the ice. Um, that is when Deku gets all up close and personal with Todoroki, realizing that he doesn't really have a mainline defense other than his fire, but he doesn't seem to use that in battle. So he's punching Todoroki and actually winning. That's when he realizes that Todoroki can't use his fire quirk. So what he does, he actually starts to um, kind of talk to him mid battle, like, "Why aren't you using your fire quirk?" And then um, Todoroki's like, "Because my goddamn dad gave me it, and he's evil." And basically, that's when Deku says what he's thinking, and he's like, "But it's not it's not his quirk, it's yours." And that's when Todoroki kind of gets that face of realization, and Deku steps back when he gets another string of ice thrown at him. He dodges the ice, and then he gets a wall of fire thrown at him. So we're now properly going off here. So Deku goes in for a punch, and Todoroki matches it with a punch, but with his like a flame punch. Um, them punches kind of like shatter off each other, causing lightning to shatter off into the air and fire to shatter off into the air. Um, then um, what Todoroki tries to do is freeze Deku's arm, but Deku, realizing this, actually retaliates by lifting back his the arm that tried to set him on ice and punching him in the face, not with full muscle augmentation. Um, but with somewhat muscle augmentation, which actually pushes him back a bit. That's when he goes, "I'm gonna end this," and basically he freezes the whole arena in ice, which actually captures Deku because there's nowhere else for him to go. At least it looks like it does. And then he starts to fill the whole arena with fire, which causes a huge explosion, which actually knocks him quite far away, especially for Deku, who blocked the ice by jumping up in the air. So he then gets pushed. The explosion then gets pushed really far away. The fight gets called off by all the teachers because it's been too destructive, as it actually um it actually turned out the explosion, because Deku jumped up in the air when the explosion happened. It pushed him way too far out of the arena, with no way to get back. It actually left Todoroki to win, even though the battle was called off. It was decided that Todoroki had won. Uh, After Todoroki won, he went into kind of a thinking state, not thinking about his quirk, thinking about how, just all about the mentality of using his quirk, whether he's betraying his mum or not. That is when Ida finds out the news about the hero killer. Of course, he's already had his fight, so he then goes off and goes to check on his brother. Uh, that is when the rest of the fights happen. Todoroki, in a state of shock, is still unable to basically fight properly against Bakugo, and actually chooses to completely forfeit the fight because he realizes it's not going to really affect. Everybody knows his power now, and two, he's not in a state to fight. He's kind of in like crazy mental state, and not like angry, just like he's thinking about too much stuff for it to be distracted by what he sees as a pretty silly, stupid fight he could win. And he's actually kind of grateful that Deku was there to fight him, as he saw him as a kind of escape to the light, and escape back to happiness and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, and that would symbol the end of the tournament arc. I'm sorry if it wasn't that good. I, I don't feel like I switched it up enough, so I'm gonna try and switch up the future events a bit more. I was wondering, there is two ways I can go with this. There is a really out of the way, crazy dystopian future, My Hero Academia spoiler territory way. So that means it could spoil the manga, or I could go just the pretty average way, or I could try and go for a middle ground. So I was wondering, which way do you want me to take this series? Do you want to make it as crazy as possible, or do you want to make it kind of tame? Like I don't know. I don't know. What do people like? Do they like crazy? Because I had an idea that I got in the shower, and it actually really sat with me about how crazy I can make this series. But at the same time, I didn't want to make it all crazy and spoil a bunch of stuff for the future, and then actually ruin the series, because this is one of my most successful series. Anyway, so I just want to thank you guys. You're an amazing audience. Um, Remember to like and subscribe, and this is where I'm leaving the video, so goodbye.